We're Tom and Jenny's, and our mission is to spread all the happiness that's around candy and make it healthy without sacrificing any of the taste. So I graduated from dental school, started working in a very underserved area, and saw that all the parents were asking for what is good for their children. And I started researching it, and there just wasn't many good alternatives that were tasty and really good for teeth. So then we started experimenting with things at home that we could actually start creating, and that's how Tom and Jenny's was formed. Is we wanted something really healthy for not only the mouth but the body, and also tasted really good. Make sure that it's good for teeth and all the properties that it needs to have, whether it's melting quickly, whether the pH, the acidity of it is not too acidic where it's actually dissolving them in enamel. So we're looking at all the properties that make it good for teeth without sacrificing any of the taste.
The biggest hurdle is when you're starting any food brand, you sort of jump to the end, and the biggest hurdle is how do you actually get customer adoption? How do you sell through on store shelves? We actually started with the end in mind, kind of knew what kind of brand we wanted, knew what kind of channels we wanted to go through. Of course, we've continued to experiment on those, but we started to do a ton of consumer research. And it's been all about trying to understand what are consumers looking for most, where would this fit into what their needs are, the really having it all rooted in the consumer need. I had some insight into what the end product should look like, but really no insight into food science, and had to teach myself all of that. We went out and found a James Beard award-winning pastry chef who just knows his stuff with caramel and chocolates, and he helped us tweak the recipe over the course of a couple of months and many test batches in his kitchen. And so that's how we really overcame that hurdle of creating something delicious. As we've been selling the product, talking with people about the product, we've heard from numerous dentists, that this is something they really appreciate, would love to be able to hand out to patients, and are willing to actually pay for. We know retail has to be our primary channel, but what are the ways that we can accelerate scale up of retail? Getting into dental practices across the country is a sort of quick way to scale up acceptance in various communities, get the endorsement value of the dentist, and then work our way sideways from that dental channel into retailers around each of those dental practices. And now you've got an expert endorser who people trust, telling them, hey, here's a sample, try it out. If you like it, go buy it at your local Foster's Market, Respite Cafe, fill in the blank.
We've had great success with the product. Almost everyone that tries it loves it, and we currently can't make enough in our home-based certified kitchen to meet the demand at this point. So we have two routes to take, whether it's building our own factory or find contract manufacturing that will make it as good, as quality as we have. And we're actually in talks with several contract manufacturers to see if they can produce as quality product as we need. It's very important to really know what ingredients they're going to use and what type of process they're going to use, because it changes the taste of your candy, your final product, and you don't want to have a 20,000 pound production and you get an end result and you just paid for it and it's not what you wanted to create. So it's very important to lay down what is needed to happen and have lots of samples before the large run takes place.
The real challenges in building something like this and making money at it are figuring out your unit economics and making sure that you can actually get the supplies you need, the ingredients you need, with the labor that you've got to use to produce something like this, and the equipment, and that you can do so in a way that you're actually making money on a unit basis. So we're really planning this thing for long-term economics, not just for what are our economics today.